Welcome to the CPM Customer Success Podcast, where we help Office of Finance leaders find an exact solution to enhance their corporate performance without spending countless nights and weekends in the office. Hi, I'm your host, Andy Smetana from Nova Advisory. Nova Advisory is a 100% OneStream professional services diamond implementation partner. We help OneStream customers and prospective OneStream customers get the most out of their OneStream investments. And speaking of getting the most out of your OneStream investment, we have a special download for you to help you get the best CPM investment decision for your organization. Check out the Nova Advisory website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and download our free CPM customer success software evaluation criteria and selection workbook. Each of the criteria is described in more detail in an episode of CPM Customer Success. The workbook identifies each episode. They'll help you explore deeper what makes OneStream unique as compared to other CPM solutions. It'll guide you through your CPM decision process. The workbook is free, so check that out now. So in this episode, we're going to do something a little different. I am going to walk you through the CPM Customer Success Software Evaluation Criteria Workbook that we've been talking about and promoting on the podcast for the last half a year, about last 6 months or so. We have been building up episodes and content that enhance the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet just keeps getting better and better as we progress and go. If you have an early version of this, you'll want to check out the latest and greatest that's available now, which is version 2, which we're going to walk through here on this quick video for today's podcast. So this is V2. I'm sharing my screen. I'll walk you through the different tabs and worksheets in the spreadsheet. And then you can download this off of the Nova Advisory website, as we said in the intro, at novaadvisory.com/podcast. And you can start using this for your own CPM evaluation and scoring. Instructions from the first worksheet. It walks you through each of the tabs, which include a criteria and scoring tab, a results tab, business case for both personnel savings and financial savings, and the final business case worksheet. So those are the different worksheets. We'll step through each one of these one by one. So first off, the criteria and scoring. So this worksheet has from left to right columns that describe the functionality of the CPM software that you'll be evaluating. It includes a place to include the description of that functionality. We've got a reference back to the CPM Customer Success podcast episode and the description of that, the actual episode title. And then we get into actual scoring itself. The first vendor we've got here is listed as vendor 1. We've got, as we scroll to the right, a blue line that separates out the same criteria for vendor 2 and vendor 3 in the far right. For each vendor and each functionality, you've got data points that your software evaluation team can enter and score the software. The first and probably most obvious is this functionality, is this capability offered by the product? Simple yes or no. Does that capability have an additional cost? Meaning on the software side, does it have an additional license fee associated with that capability? Or is it all included within the platform? And then you've got your scoring criteria. This is an example of scoring 1 through 5. You, of course, can adjust this to suit your needs. You can make it 1 to 10, 1 to 100, whatever you think gives the most relevant kind of results for your team. You'll see here in a second, the calculations are just going to sum up and run averages. It's really up to you and how you want to use this. This, as I said, is an example 1 through 5. So you would say something to the effect of, yes, this capability is offered. No, it's not an additional cost. And the scoring was a 5. Excellent. And then you can enter any notes or questions. So this is really meant to be updated as you're going through the software evaluation. This could be a part of demos. Some of these criteria could be scored during demos, demonstrations of the software product. It could also just be notes that the software evaluator takes as they go and they research and they understand the marketplace and the capabilities of each software product. Okay. So you enter in any notes there and just fill in these criteria, okay? And then let me walk you through the rows on this spreadsheet. So below the first criteria, there's a section called platform capabilities. So that's the overall finance platform. And that includes things like, is it unified or is it a modular or point solution? So we've talked about in a number of episodes on CPM customer success. OneStream is unique and differentiated in this manner is their true platform, where there's other modular based approaches like we've talked about in prior episodes, Oracle's approach, SAP's approach, Workday's approach, or modular point solution based approaches. Really, OneStream's the only true unified platform in the CPM marketplace today. Extensibility, this is of course unique to OneStream. We've covered that in episode 18. You can go back and check that out if you want to understand further what extensibility is. But once again, you just go through this criteria, you'd fill out the spreadsheet and your score and do that for each vendor. The second set of functionality we've got, I've left open for you, and it's adjustable depending on what's important for your organization. So we've got here our close and consolidation capabilities. The examples list 1 through 3. You could certainly add rows by clicking, right click and inserting, and they'll insert new rows. The second piece is FP&A capabilities. Same situation here. You'd add those capabilities that are most important to your organization here, and then solution capabilities. In this example, we're showing or highlighting things like account reconciliations or people planning, which in the OneStream vernacular are solution exchange solutions that you can download, configure, deploy your organization with in most cases, no additional license costs. And then of course you can insert new rows here. As I showed earlier, you can just continue to insert. The criterion scoring is going to sum everything above this row, and that's where you're going to get in the calculation here. It's picking up the 5 that I had above, but if these were all 5s in this top section, I won't fill the entire thing out, but you'd score a 30 there, and you'd have that score for the OneStream platform. Okay. So that's the first piece under the kind of the platform capabilities, close and console, and solution. And that gives you your total functionality score. The second piece down here are your vendor support and community scores. So these are criteria that are specific to customer success, to their partner network, meaning the support ecosystem you have within that software platform and vendor, things like training offered, the overall user experience with the application, and things like online help and solution extensions. Once again, you can add rows as you see fit. You can modify these if some of these are not relevant, and score up the totals and get to a total here. So once again, if I added 5s here, you would see this criteria was 7, it's a total of 35. Okay. And then on the below the customer success criteria, there's operating specifications. Those specifications are more technical in nature, so this might be relevant for an IT staff or technically savvy personnel that are part of your evaluation criteria scoring team. This can include things like the cloud architecture, include web-based capabilities. It might include security protocols. It really just depends on your organization and what's specific and most important for your evaluation. Those scoring will get to the operating specifications. And then this next section's data integrations. So this would cover, and we've talked about this on episode 22, data source compatibility, real-time integration capabilities, transformation, automation, all of the things OneStream does really well in terms of integrating and providing that platform for all your financial and operational data in one place. That will get to a data integration score. And then security and compliance, we actually broke out in more detail because security is so important to most organizations. the data encryption, access control procedures, audit trails, authentication, compliance, certifications. OneStream can provide all of that to your organization as you go through your evaluation. And so you can score this as a team and an organization. And then data integration security is broken out separately. Okay, and then the cost criteria, of course. So the overall total cost of ownership, upfront costs, unit price per user license cost, if that's how it's licensed, and then costs removed, so the cost that can come out of your organization as a result of implementing, in this case, a OneStream or whichever solution you end up choosing, any special rates, discounts, or promotions. Some of this could be qualitative in terms of nature, but you're still scoring these 1 through 5 and establishing that criteria to get to this total. Okay, so that completes, once you've filled in this workbook for all the vendors, all three, once again, then this example 1, 2, 3, you can certainly add more to the right, just have to pull those calcs into the workbook itself. But once your team's completed that, you'd get results. And this results tab will show you vendor 1, 2, 3, so the rows going down, and they'll show you the different criteria scoring that was applied. In this case, functionality, the examples I just filled in, and customer success are filled in. I did not fill in these others, that's why they're 0. But then this OneStream score is a 65. Okay, the weighting is intentionally left open for you to configure. And by weighting, we mean is if not all these criteria, some criteria are more important than others, you may weight those higher and want to apply that relative score at a higher weight than other criteria. And so this is completely adjustable. You can, in theory, you want to add this up to 100, but you might say that, hey, this is 25%, this is 25%, this is 10%, 10%, 10%, and then let's say this is 20%. Okay, that gets you your 100%. And then you see the weighted score is adding up and creating a number. So if I had filled in all of the data on the criterion scoring, the weighting here would show something other than 0, and you get to a total score for the OneStream platform. Okay, do that for all of the vendors, and you'll get a weighted score that allows you to compare in a like-for-like weighted average total score. Okay. The next worksheet is business case for personnel. So this breaks down your personnel savings and allows you to start target what's the current cost and level of effort and number of people involved in a given activities, so you can figure out with the CPM platform in place how more efficient your organization will become, and as a result, what's the cost benefits your organization for implementing the new CPM solution. Okay. So this is focused on personnel, and this next one's on financial savings. So let's start with the finance and accounting. You can see different high-level categories here: closing consolidation, reporting, account reconciliations, etc. What you do, and we're showing an example on monthly reporting, you'd enter the number of people involved in your organization. You would indicate the number of days annually that they're involved with that, how much percentage of their effort they are expending on that activity, in this case, monthly management reporting. You'd enter a fully burdened salary, in this case, it's US dollars, but of course, enter whatever currency is relevant for your organization. And then that will calculate a productivity savings. In this case, we're saying 20 people involved, 60 days, 25% of that total work days are consumed with that monthly management reporting. Their salaries are here, so that would be a productivity savings of $187,000 per year. Okay, you go through, fill this out for all the different criteria, and you'll get to a productivity savings number annually. Same for planning and budgeting, long-range planning, budgeting, forecasting, people planning, capital planning. Once again, you can modify these criteria. You can even add criteria if you see that fit. And that will give you a productivity savings for planning and budgeting annually. Okay. The next work tab is the business case, financial savings. This is where we start to look at license cost. And when we talked about the costs removed, or the technical debt, if you recall, we're referring to this in prior episodes. When you remove the capability and you're replacing it with a platform like OneStream, you can take out costs, and those savings can be applied to your business case for the implementation of the CPM solution. And so that's what this worksheet is capturing. It's capturing the license and maintenance costs for the different existing vendors. In this example, vendor 1, 2, 3 can add additional vendors if there's additional vendors you believe you can take out with the CPM solution. This is the labor associated with doing that support. So it's the support of the application itself. These might be administrators, they might be IT personnel, but it's the labor itself that are involved directly with supporting that would be saved. Infrastructure, maybe you have an on-premise solution. There might be infrastructure and hosting that you're paying for, or there could be cloud hosting, so subscriptions that you're paying for. Anything like that related to the solution that would be coming out, you would want to include here. And then et cetera, et cetera. You can see the other criteria: data management, a potential upgrade, design costs, or redesign costs. If they're relevant for an application that was maybe going through a change that would cause a re-implementation, for example. And then disaster recovery. So you'd enter all this for the costs that would come out, and those would get added to your business case. And that is going to calculate on the final business case number. Okay. What this will do, this worksheet will pull in the finance and accounting productivity savings from this worksheet, the productivity savings piece, and then it'll pull in the planning and budgeting productivity also from the personnel, and it'll pull in separately the financial savings from this other worksheet. So it's these two from the first worksheet, business case worksheet, this from the financial savings worksheet to get to a total number. Okay. Then you compare that to the CPM software costs, the licensing costs of the new solution, and the implementation costs of the new solution. And that would allow you to get to your business case number. Okay. So that is a wrap for this episode of CPM Customer Success. And hopefully you see the benefit and the tie out now of all of the episodes and content we've been building up over the last 6 months to provide this content, to dive into these different concepts so that you really had a good appreciation and understanding of OneStream's unique capabilities as compared to other solutions available in the marketplace. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll wrap up today's episode. Thanks for joining us on this episode of CPM Customer Success. Reminder to check out that CPM Customer Success, CPM software evaluation criteria to guide you through your CPM decision. The OneStream capabilities we've been describing in CPM Customer Success, as we just showed you, dive deeper into each criteria. Check that out now at Nova Advisory's website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and don't download the free CPM Customer Success software evaluation criteria and selection workbook. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week for another episode of CPM Customer Success.